Science can explain everything. That belief sits at the center of our modern world. If there is no valid scientific explanation for the things archaeologists or historians found, then it just falls into the category of an unsolved mystery waiting for more evidence. But in reality, there are a lot of things that scientists still cannot explain. And the problem is not that they do not have enough evidence. The problem is that some of these finds look impossible to exist, even in principle. And trust us, by the end of this video, you'll question everything you know about ancient history. Number 15. Elongated ancient skulls. When archaeologist Julio Tello began excavating burial sites on Peru's Paracas Peninsula in 1928, he found one of the strangest collections of human remains in South America. The tombs contained elongated skulls unlike ordinary human anatomy, some appearing nearly 25% larger than normal skulls. Similar cranial shapes have been discovered in other parts of the world, including Egypt, Central Asia, and Eastern Europe. But the Paracas skulls became super controversial because of their unusual proportions. Historians explain most skulls through cranial deformation, a practice where cloth bindings or wooden boards gradually reshaped an infant's head during early childhood. Many ancient cultures linked the appearance with nobility, spirituality, or social status. Still, some researchers argue that the Paracas examples differ structurally from normal deformation because certain skulls appear heavier and contain unusual bone formations. Studies performed on tested remains confirmed human ancestry, but ancient astronaut theories continue to surround the discoveries. No one knows the actual truth. Number 14. Coldstream Stone. This painted stone, found near South Africa's Lau River, sparked arguments almost instantly after archaeologists examined it. They named this object the Coldstream Stone, and some researchers claimed it might represent one of the oldest surviving artworks ever found. The scene painted across its surface is simple but striking, showing human figures that appear to be participating in a hunt. The problem lies in the condition of the artifact itself. The stone spent centuries buried in damp ground close to the river, an environment that should have destroyed the paint long ago. Instead, the artwork survived far better than expected, causing some experts to question whether the object was genuinely ancient at all. Skeptics argued the stone may have been placed there shortly before its discovery, turning the entire story into a possible hoax. Others defended the artifact and connected it to the San hunter-gatherer people whose history stretches back tens of thousands of years. Until some more stronger evidence appears, this stone remains trapped somewhere between priceless discovery and archaeological controversy. Number 13. Pachacamac Idol. For years, historians believed this idol carried traces of blood from ancient sacrificial rituals. The wooden figure was discovered in Peru and dates back roughly 12 centuries, standing as one of the most important religious artifacts connected to the ancient city of Pachacamac. Red markings covering parts of the statue convinced many researchers that the idol may have been drenched in blood during ceremonies performed by priests or worshippers. Later scientific analysis completely changed that idea. Tests revealed the red color actually came from cinnabar, a rare mercury-based pigment transported from distant regions of the Andes. Traces of yellow and white paint were also found on the figure, proving the statue once looked far more colorful than it does today. The discovery raised new questions instead of solving old ones. Transporting cinnabar across hundreds of miles would have required wealth, trade networks, and careful planning. Historians still cannot explain exactly which deity the idol represented or what rituals surrounded it. Even after centuries underground, the figure still guards most of its secrets. Number 12. Will Scarlet's Grave. A weathered stone grave beside an old church in England continues to feed one of Britain's oldest legends. Local tradition claims the burial site belongs to Will Scarlet, the famous companion of Robin Hood, even though historians cannot prove either man truly existed. The grave stands near the Church of St. Mary of the Purification in Blidworth, not far from Sherwood Forest, where the Robin Hood stories were set. Unlike royal tombs or noble monuments, the grave carries no inscription and offers no clear evidence about the person buried beneath it. The mystery only deepens because the church itself was built on the remains of an older Norman structure dating back centuries. Villagers have passed the story down for generations, connecting nearby cottages and landmarks to figures like Maid Marian and Robin Hood himself. Old records even describe captured archers being freed from prison by armed companions during the 13th century, a detail that sounds strangely familiar to the legends. Whether the grave truly belongs to Will Scarlet or not, the story refuses to disappear from local memory. Number 11. The 1418 Chinese Map of America. A map revealed in Beijing created a storm among historians because of what it appeared to show. According to the document, Chinese explorers may have reached the Americas decades before Christopher Columbus ever crossed the Atlantic. The map carries the date 1418 and includes coastlines resembling North and South America, a detail that immediately fueled debate around old theories claiming Chinese fleets explored far beyond Asia during the early 15th century. British writer Gavin Menzies strongly supported the idea and argued that Admiral Zhong He's expeditions reached the New World long before European voyages began. Many experts rejected the claim almost immediately. Critics argued the document looked more like an 18th century copy influenced by later European maps rather than genuine 15th century cartography. Even so, supporters pointed toward unusual similarities between early Portuguese maps and supposed Chinese geographic knowledge from the same period. The argument remains unresolved because proving authenticity after centuries is extremely difficult. Whether the map represents incredible evidence or an elaborate misunderstanding, it reopened one of history's oldest questions about who truly reached the Americas first. Number 10. Rhynie Man. Very little survives from the ancient Pictish world, which is why the Rhynie Man stone remains so important to archaeologists studying early Scotland. The carved monument was uncovered in Aberdeenshire during the 20th century and immediately drew attention because of its unusual appearance. Standing nearly 6 feet tall, the figure shows a man carrying what appears to be an axe while wearing a detailed headdress. Researchers believe the carving dates somewhere between the 5th and 6th centuries, although stone monuments are notoriously difficult to date with certainty. The site where it was discovered once served as a burial ground connected to high-status Pictish individuals, leading some historians to think the figure may represent an important tribal leader or religious authority. The axe itself adds another layer of mystery because similar weapons were associated with ceremonial animal sacrifice in Pictish culture. Nobody knows whether the monument marked a grave, guarded an entrance, or played a role in rituals now completely forgotten. The lack of written records from the Picts leaves the stone standing almost alone as a voice from a vanished culture. Now let's move to number 9, Nazis and reptiles theories. Stories connecting Nazi Germany to occult experiments and alien theories became widespread after World War II. But few stories are stranger than the claims made by former naval engineer William Tompkins. Before his death in 2017, Tompkins alleged that American intelligence learned during the 1940s that Nazi groups had established contact with non-human beings connected to advanced technology programs. According to his claims, certain German societies believed they received technical information through mediums associated with the Vril Society and other occult circles operating before and during the war. Tompkins described alleged encounters involving two types of beings, human-like Nordics and reptilian entities connected to secret aerospace developments. Historians reject these stories because no verified evidence supports the existence of alien alliances inside the Third Reich. Still, the theories survived partly because Nazi Germany genuinely pursued unusual scientific experiments, advanced aircraft concepts, and occult symbolism during the war years. So, did they really make contact with aliens? Number 8. Notre Dame lead sarcophagus. The fire that tore through Notre Dame Cathedral in 2019 shocked the world. But the disaster also opened areas of the ancient structure that archaeologists had never been able to study properly before. During restoration work beneath the cathedral floor, researchers uncovered a sealed lead sarcophagus buried deep below the building. The coffin appears to date back to the 14th century, although no inscription reveals the identity of the person resting inside. That absence of information only deepened the mystery because burial within Notre Dame would have been reserved for somebody of enormous status or influence. The sarcophagus had remained hidden beneath old heating pipes installed during the 19th century, which explains why nobody realized it was there for so long. Archaeologists hope future examination of the remains may reveal clues about the individual's age, social position, and cause of death. For now, the coffin sits as a strange, forgotten presence beneath one of Europe's most famous cathedrals. Number 7. The Balandean Pyramid. Most people expect pyramids to belong to Egypt or Central America, not the countryside of Australia. That is why the Balandean Pyramid catches visitors completely off guard. Rising from the landscape with its rough granite shape, the structure almost looks like the remains of some forgotten civilization. Stories and theories have surrounded it for years, ranging from ancient tombs to lost ceremonial sites. The real explanation turns out to be far less dramatic, although the mystery never fully disappears. The pyramid stands around 45 feet tall and was built using thousands of tons of leftover granite from nearby construction work. Even though the project was created simply for fun, almost nobody can clearly identify who organized the construction or exactly when it happened. That uncertainty keeps speculation alive. Looking at the enormous amount of stone involved, it becomes difficult not to wonder why somebody would dedicate so much effort to building a pyramid-shaped monument in the middle of rural Australia. Sometimes, even ordinary explanations still leave strange questions sitting underneath them. Number 6. The Kecksburg UFO Incident. During the Cold War, stories about secret crashes and hidden military operations spread constantly across the Soviet Union. But one case became especially strange. The so-called Kecksburg incident allegedly involved the crash of an unidentified disc-shaped object somewhere in a forested region during the 1960s. According to reports that later appeared in conspiracy circles, Soviet military forces quickly sealed the area while civilians were pushed away before investigators arrived. Photographs connected to the story show what appears to be a metallic circular object partly embedded in the ground. Witnesses claimed the surface carried unusual symbols resembling unknown writing systems. Rumors became even darker after stories appeared describing small humanoid remains allegedly recovered near the site. No official Soviet records confirming the event have ever surfaced, and many researchers believe the photos were either misidentified military debris or deliberate fabrications created during the height of UFO hysteria. Still, the story survived because it mirrored similar rumors surrounding Roswell and other crashes. Even now, this incident remains trapped between Cold War secrecy and folklore. Number 5. Traces of fire under megaliths. Archaeologists studying ancient megalithic sites occasionally encounter something difficult to explain at first. Beneath certain massive stone structures, researchers have discovered layers of rock showing signs of intense heat exposure. In places like Pumapunku in Bolivia and parts of Egypt, some stone surfaces appear partially melted or vitrified, almost as if they were exposed to temperatures far beyond ordinary fires. Scientists usually explain these effects through natural geological activity, lightning strikes, volcanic heat, or chemical weathering over long periods of time. However, alternative researchers argue that some marks resemble cutting, drilling, or melting techniques associated with advanced industrial processes rather than ancient construction methods. The mystery became popular because many megalithic sites already contain stonework showing remarkable precision. Enormous blocks weighing dozens of tons were shaped and positioned with accuracy that still impresses engineers today. Most experts reject theories involving lost energy weapons or advanced, forgotten technology. Even so, the sight of partially vitrified stone beneath structures thousands of years old naturally raises questions. Number 4. Iron Age Water Goddess Figurine. Archaeologists working in Bavaria uncovered a small clay figurine that may once have held deep spiritual meaning for people living more than 2,000 years ago. The object was discovered near the remains of an Iron Age settlement connected to the Hallstatt culture, a civilization that dominated large parts of Western Europe during the Late Bronze and Early Iron Age. Although the figure appears rough and heavily worn, researchers noticed something unusual almost immediately. The figurine showed very little damage from flowing water despite being found inside a gully where centuries of erosion should have smoothed its surface totally. That detail led experts to suspect the object had been placed there deliberately as part of a ritual offering rather than washed into the location by nature. Some historians believe the figure may represent a water goddess worshipped by local communities who viewed rivers and springs as sacred places. Similar traditions appeared in cultures around the Black Sea thousands of years earlier, raising the possibility that old spiritual ideas traveled surprisingly far across ancient Europe. Number 3. The mysterious ancient mask. In Florida, stories occasionally surface about unusual artifacts discovered along old shipwreck routes tied to the Spanish colonial era. One of the strangest involves a metallic mask made from iridium, an extremely rare element commonly linked with meteorites because it appears only in tiny amounts within Earth's crust. According to the claims surrounding the artifact, the object may be nearly 12,000 years old. The mask allegedly carries engraved imagery resembling Viracocha, the creator deity connected to Inca mythology in South America. That connection immediately created controversy, because the artifact was reportedly found far from the Andes region traditionally associated with Viracocha legends. Some theorists believe the object may have traveled aboard Spanish treasure fleets, moving stolen artifacts across the Atlantic during the colonial period. Others connect the iridium composition to meteorite material and ancient astronomical symbolism. No verified scientific publication has confirmed the extraordinary claims surrounding the artifact, and many historians remain skeptical about its age and origins. Number 2. A Martian visitor to Allen Hills. In 1984, scientists working in Antarctica recovered a dark meteorite from the ice fields of Allen Hills that eventually became one of the most controversial space discoveries ever studied. The rock itself looked ordinary at first, but years later, researchers identified gases trapped inside it that matched the atmosphere of Mars. That meant the meteorite had once been blasted off the Martian surface before landing on Earth thousands of years ago. The real controversy started in 1996 when microscopic structures inside the rock appeared to resemble fossilized bacteria. Images released by NASA showed tiny segmented formations embedded within the meteorite along with minerals commonly connected to biological activity on Earth. Some scientists argued that the shapes formed naturally through chemical reactions, with no connection to life at all. Others believed the meteorite carried possible evidence that microscopic organisms once existed on ancient Mars billions of years ago when the planet still contained liquid water. Even today, the debate never fully disappeared. A small rock preserved inside Antarctic ice forced humanity to seriously consider the possibility that life may not belong exclusively to Earth. Number 1. The Babylonian Jupiter Tablet. Long before telescopes existed, Babylonian astronomers were already studying the sky with absolute precision. One clay tablet examined closely by experts in 2016 revealed calculations connected to Jupiter that completely surprised historians of science. The markings suggested Babylonian scholars used geometric methods to predict the planet's movement across the heavens more than 1,000 years before similar ideas appeared in medieval Europe. What makes the discovery extraordinary is the mathematical thinking behind it. The tablet appears to describe Jupiter's motion using time, velocity, and distance together in a way resembling early calculus concepts. These were not simple observations written by priests staring at stars. The Babylonians were building predictive models using abstract mathematics. The calculations likely date back over 2,000 years, during a period when Babylon was one of the intellectual centers of the ancient world. And despite all the analysis, researchers still debate exactly how these astronomers developed such advanced methods without modern instruments or optics. If you found this video joyful to watch, please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.